My simple definition of acting is becoming, not pretending. If you ask me, becoming, you become.
Okay.
You become whatever that character is. So if the character is psychotic, you become, not pretending to be. So that is why if you're not careful, we've heard in instances where people get attached to a character so bad that they can't detach. But that is what acting really is. You must become. You must be able to say, if you have to display the character of a mad person, people should see you on the street and say, sure, say this guy not mad. That is when you have become. But if you are there was this, personally in school, I never did any comic role because I always felt like, how would I fool myself? Till I saw a quote that an actor must not be scared of fooling himself. So you have to do what you have to do. It's not you, it is the character. The first role I played as a student was, the character was a rapist. We call the course then 100. I had to, unquote, rape someone on stage. And
hello everyone, welcome to today's DURA'S Voice podcast, and my name is Mbasoibere Florence, and right here with me is
Osas is my name.
Okay, today we have a very interesting topic to talk about. First question to you, Osas, is if having a degree is necessary, or would you prefer just going to set and acquiring the experience?
Now, first things first, I'm a theatre artist. I studied in the University of Port Harcourt. That's where I acquired my first degree, my bachelor degree in theatre and film. Now, and since then, after I acquired my degree, I've been acting. I'll tell you that first things first, what works for Mr. A might not work for Mr. B.
Yeah.
That's first thing. So I think you have to learn how to enjoy your own experience in life. Now, coming down to your question, if I find it necessary, I'll tell you, even if you shouldn't go to a school for 4 years, I find it necessary that you attend film school. I beg your pardon. Because, why do I say this? If people over time have learned on the job, no doubt, but a film school will give you some certain level of insight into the craft, because everybody believes that, almost every other person believes they know how to act. But acting is way, way deeper than just talking. Because people have the misconception that, once you are good looking and you're a little bit energetic or dramatic, you can act. But it's way, way deeper than that. So I would say, even if you do not go to a university like I did, I think you should run a course, 6 months, 8 months, 1 year course, just to enlighten you on the profession you are into or you are planning to get into. Yeah. Okay,
so in essence, what you are saying is acquiring a degree is more necessary than...
It's important. I won't use the word necessary. I'll use the word important, because it will give you some level of insight. Yes.
So what for you?
Yes,
what are the disadvantages and the advantages of going into a theatre art school?
Frankly speaking, I think I'll say the disadvantage of going to study theatre in university is time. Because the idea is, when you go to a university to study theatre, it's not just theatre you study. Because a bachelor's degree it's a process, it's a training for you to be able to function, not just in film, but in any walk of life. Because you get to borrow courses from other departments, history, English. So in that process, it enlightens you. So like I said earlier, even if you do not go to a university, go to a film school that would focus basically on acting, let's say film or stage. So I'll say time, when it comes to a university, that is disadvantage. committing 4 years of your life, or 5 years if you did a post-degree before you went, or a pre-degree rather, before you went into the university. That is the major disadvantage, that time. And the advantages are too numerous. If you go to a very, very good school that, like the one I went to, I believe is one of the best in Nigeria, wow. Yes, that really, really, breaks you and enlightens you. First of all, I started acting in church, right? I thought, let me use that word, that I knew how to act. Yes, I do have the talent naturally, but the school was able to break and refine me. So there are so many advantages, the ability to modulate, the ability to learn from other actors. Because when film and stage are not the same. Okay. Stage, you must rehearse. There are rehearsals. And in that process, you are learning. But most times when it comes to film production, especially in our country where we're very time conscious and money conscious, we make everything so quick. Meaning you get to set, maybe if they're giving the script a week before, you rehearse on your own. You get to set, you get to bond with your co-actors in a very short period of time. But when it comes to stage, you have that rehearsal process. So that rehearsal process is building you. It's building you. It's making you a much better actor, refining the character you are about to showcase. So those are, I would say, one of the advantages is that stage, that rehearsal process. It makes you a better actor. Also, learning from other actors, seeing people you look up to. So you have people ahead of you. So you watch, you learn movement. Almost most churches have proscenium stages or proscenium altars, right? They don't have thrust, or you see few churches with arena, altar, or stage, right? Now, in the theater I went to, which is the Crab, we have a thrust stage, which I had never experienced in my life prior to getting into school. And when I got there, I had to learn how to move. So when they tell you lines and movements, it was weird for me because I wasn't used to that. So that opportunity to learn how to walk and move comfortably on a thrust stage, so it breaks you, it makes you a much better performer. Be it costume, be it makeup, be it directing. That time we spend there makes us way better. But the only issue is most schools in Nigeria focus on stage and not film. But I think currently now they are beginning to know that yes, film is the it thing, so they are giving more courses and students are getting to do more film projects than only stage. So yes, these are some few advantages I would say of attending a theater or film school.
Okay, yeah. You made mention of you started acting in church.
Yes.
Before you had the opportunity to go to school.
Yes.
So how did you feel on your first day? Like you also said you thought you knew how to act.
Okay.
So when you found your way into school,
yes,
how did you feel?
First of all, it was amazing to get, that excitement, getting your admission, you are going to university. That first excitement was there, that joy and that adrenaline boost in my mind, like, oh, I'm finally going to school. Oh. And why did I say I thought I knew how to act? Because acting, like I said before, is way deeper than just saying those things. There are a lot of techniques in acting that you get to learn from dramatic pauses, and all that you get to learn when you go to a theater school. So, first of all, I started acting at a very tender age from church because of the kind of family I'm from. We're art inclined. So I'm someone that if I say I'm going for a drama rehearsal, nobody's going to stop me or tell me don't go. Okay. So I had, from a little boy, I was always part of children drama unit till the church general drama unit. I was part of it, and I'm not really someone that talks a lot, so I'm always quiet or reserved. So, and most people feel like because you're quiet, you don't know how to act. So these are misconceptions. Being quiet, being calm, being reserved is different from playing a character. Yeah. So until I think that was 2013, I got a role in the church drama. It was for our youth weekend, and I got a role, and I was just a bodyguard to the person. So fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know how to put it, the person traveled to Edo State. So they said, you have been seeing what he has been doing now. Just feeling for him. It was just feeling. It wasn't my role. But the delivery and the expression I gave to it, when the guy returns, like, just leave this thing for this guy. This guy is doing excellently well. I think that was the point of revelation in my own life, that this is what I really want to push, because I did it a lot in my closet, but having to do it
in public,
yes, was, an awesome opportunity. So after that, I decided to go into school, which I did. So getting to school, I understood that it's more than having a loud voice. It's more than just saying those words. You must say those words with meaning. You must say them like it's the first time you are doing performance, like it's the first time you are saying it, not like it's rehearsed. You must have that conviction to convince your audience that you are that person, that you are that character. So my simple definition of acting is becoming, not pretending. If you becoming, you become.
Okay.
You become whatever that character is. So if the character is psychotic, you become, not pretending to be. So that is why if you're not careful, I've heard in instances where people get attached to a character so bad that they can't detach. But that is what acting really is. You must become. You must be able to say, if you have to display the character of a mad person, people should see you on the street and say, sure, say this guy not mad. That is when you have become. But if you are there was this, personally in school, I never did any comic role, because I always felt like, how would I fool myself? Till I saw a quote that an actor must not be scared of fooling himself. So you have to do what you have to do. It's not you, it is the character. The first role I played as a student was, the character was a rapist. We called the course then 100. I had to, in quotes, rape someone on stage. And people saw me who were in my group who happened to witness the performance, saw me in the main campus or the other campus, and was shouting, rapist, rapist. At that time, as a 100 level student, I was uncomfortable, but thinking about it now, it means that I was able to convince them that I was a rapist. I had to become a rapist for mannerism, courage, and characterization.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from everything you've said, it actually shows that in your school, or while you were in school, you chose school, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. While you were in school, you guys also practicalize everything you have been taught.
Of course we do. We even get to perform alongside our lecturers. So that is one thing. I don't know about any other school in Nigeria, but the opportunity to go toe-to-toe with the person teaching you how to do this thing. Yeah. You go toe-to-toe with him. It's an amazing experience. Yes, it is. So I think, yes, when it comes to generally, I think there's a lot of depth they give to us. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So does it actually mean that also most of these professional filmmakers or professional actors, they also go through this same degree, or most of them just acquire the on-set experience and connection?
I would say locally, which is Nigeria, I don't feel most persons. At a time we had, from my school, we had a lot of people dominating the movie industry, but it's no longer like that. But internationally, like if you listen to someone like, or you watch and listen to someone like Denzel Washington, which is a huge inspiration to me. Okay. He always says up until now, he still does stage performances. So he keeps himself warm, he keeps his iron sharp. So he doesn't wait to only have when he's on set. That is when he becomes. He's every day portraying a particular character. Okay. So that opportunity to always, but here, it's not really a big culture. People don't really believe in this whole film school. If you have a pretty face or a handsome face, the director likes you, you're a little bit dramatic, you can learn. But I always say, I repeat, acquire some certain level of certification in a good school. I told myself then that if I couldn't get into the university, I was going to go to Wale Adenuga. That was my decision. So, like I was saying, Nollywood is not big on this certification, but I feel it's a necessity. I feel it's important. Okay, let me use the word important. I feel it's important to, gain some certain level of experience. It is, get some certain level of insight. It is for me. That's what I'm going to say, yeah.
Okay. Have you ever been on a set? You're an actor, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Have you ever been on a set and you notice, okay, maybe this particular director or maybe this person, maybe your colleague or someone doesn't have that, let me say, wide or very full knowledge or experience on what he or she is doing?
Of course. I have experienced it a lot from being an undergraduate, graduating, and experiencing life in general. And in some cases, initially, I would try to help. Let me use that word. I would try to help.
That is like correcting
the person.
Okay.
So when I was much younger, definitely there's this excessive energy in you and you just want to correct, you want to help.
Yeah.
But when you get older, you know that you have to also read how the person is. Some people are not teachable.
Yeah.
And when you meet such persons, what do? You just let them be and you do your thing. But initially, it used to affect me. If I meet someone who's not up to speed or has that wide range of, insight, it initially affected my acting because then I'm like, am I overplaying? Am I playing to the gallery? But when I had to go back to my drawing board and think, I was like, just do your thing. Forget about the other person. Do your thing. If the person is teachable, okay, you could whisper in the person's ear. I've also been with stars that have corrected me privately. Okay, why don't you say this like this instead of like this? Thank you, sir. Yeah. They also read that, okay, this guy is someone that will listen. Because you meet some people, they don't want to listen. They believe they are God that is in human form. So, yeah.
Okay, so in your own career path, who is your role model and why do you actually pick? Because of course there are so many persons.
Definitely.
Yeah. So why do you pick this particular person as your role model and what have you learned?
Okay, from them. When it comes to Nollywood, to be Richard Mofe-Damijo. And when it comes to Hollywood, it's a wide range because I will tell you Leonardo DiCaprio and I will tell you Denzel Washington. And it's simple. It's because I'm an actor. It is their range of interpretation. You can, if you watch a particular movie and you watch the next movie, you see no similarities in characterization. If he's Jack here, he becomes Tony in the next one. And that is what you want to see. I don't believe in actors that are always playing, I'm a gangster. It's necessary sometimes, but I don't believe you should be gangster, or pastor, like you're stereotyped. These people have a wide range of character interpretation. If they have to be poor, they are poor. Another thing I love them is the time they have spent, that experience sticking to this craft is not easy, whether internationally or Hollywood, Nollywood. It's not easy sticking to this profession over the years. But character, depth, interpretation is what I love about them.
Okay.
Yes.
So compare and contrast between the normal university arts degree and on sets experience or knowledge, which would you pick?
Frankly speaking, I'll pick the school because that's what made me. I cannot say that because, like I said, that rehearsal process breaks and builds you, and we don't do that in film. Yes, so I'll say schooling experience was amazing for me, and that's what built me up to this level, not the screen, because playing wide range or different types of characters, when I get to set, that ability to adapt has already been built. So I can go to my memory bank or memory box and just say, okay, there was a time you played a detective and you're supposed to be a policeman.
Okay.
So you can draw from that experience and become.
Okay.
Yes.
From all your acting and all your character roles you've played, which one can you remember easily that, okay, this is what I loved?
Okay, I think I've played a lot of characters, but one character that always excited me was a play I did in my final year, and even after graduation I've done it twice. It was a book written by Obari Gomba named Gorilla Post. So I was part of the premiere cast, so if you open the book you will see my name there, and I played Superintendent Maiden. He was a highly ranked police officer, superintendent, and it's one character that it's really, I'll say it was challenging, at the same time it was interesting because it was really wild. It was a really wild character, like very energetic. And
okay, can you at least show the audience how you got to handle that character, or at least if it's by acting or just a little?
Okay, it's been a long time I played that. It's about 4 years ago I did play that, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm trying to generate some type of line from there, but let me think. So you want that particular one, or?
Okay, if you cannot remember that so easily, you can just give it to me.
Okay, just to say, I don't prepare for auditions.
Okay.
Why? I like to be spontaneous, and unless you have maybe something, when you get there they tell us, okay, this is what we want from you, or they give you a script, that is when I fall in line. Personally, I just go and on the spot create what comes to my head.
That's good. So
I could, go like, every dark night you come to me begging me to love you. But when I was down, when I was hungry, where were you? Now you wake up and you call me every day, professing love. Where was your love when I was hungry? You tell your family that I am the man of your dreams. Where was your love when I was hungry? You denied me just as Peter denied Jesus. Now, I will deny you.
Wow. That was a nice one. What advice would you give the young ones outside?
I'm a young one myself.
You are, but to some extent.
I honestly advise you that even if you can't commit 4, 5 years or 3 years to picking up a degree in a university, I would advise you to go to a film school or a theater school. 8 months, 1 year, 6 months. Just have some certain level of insight into what you want to do. It will help you, it will build you, to give you some foundation. That's my candid advice.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. Osaze has said so many things. He has enlightened us on so many. I also learned. So what I'm going to add to what he has just said is, in whatever you do, anything you want to do, your career path or anything, just go for your passion, what you love. Yes, because I also remember when I was actually I'm a makeup artist, and when I was about going for my tutorial, I had to call my dad, and he was like, "Is this what you love?" I said, "Yes, that is what I love." And he was like, "Okay, no problem." So that's just my advice: go for what you love, go for your passion. Yes, and don't forget to subscribe on all our social media handles at DURA'S Voice Podcast and also Star Ways Pictures. Thank you. See you.